Antonio, if we could start with you. What's been your first impressions of Formula E? Get to learn the car, different noises, different sounds.
Yeah, everything is completely different for sure. I was expecting this. It's been quite a tough day so far. Yesterday was the first touch with the car, and today the first time in a race simulation. So yeah, for sure everything is completely different, and I need to learn so many things. But yeah, I'm here for this, and I knew that it's going to be like this. And yeah, I think for sure today I feel more comfortable with the car compared to yesterday. So yeah, I'm sure with more miles will be just better.
Your career has already sort of spanned a lot of different disciplines with GT cars, F1 obviously. Where does Formula E fit in? What does it require specifically to get the most performance out of the car?
Unfortunately, it's a completely different category. Like you said, I drove so many cars. GT car and LMP2, F1, and then going to this car is everything feels so different, especially on braking. And like you say, no downforce as well, no noise. So yeah, everything is different. So, and for me, I was expecting, that would be hard, but actually it's harder than what I was thinking. So yeah, it would be a tough, still a tough afternoon. But I'm sure in the first race I will try to do my best and do a lot of sim back in the factory in December and January. But yeah, it will be for sure a difficult first part of the season. But yeah, we will work really hard and try to be in the good shape straight away, like as soon as possible.
Yeah, how hard will your prep be for the first race? Because you've got such a busy few weeks to come. There is time to get in the simulator, presumably.
It need to be, because for sure I still have 2 races in F1, another 2 weeks. Then we have the Christmas time, but after Christmas for sure I want to go straight away to the factory and try to do a lot of miles in the sim, just also to go back to the procedure and everything. So yeah, it is not much time, of course. You want always more, but it will be like this.
Thanks, Antonio. Mitch, over to you. New race number for this season. Is that just because it looks neater, 9 and 10?
Looks good. I mean, to be honest, 20 was already chosen for me when I came into Formula E because I came in quite late. The team had to submit a number, so it was just there when I signed, and it hasn't really had much meaning to me in the past. But it's obviously made I've let's say created some emotional attachment to 20 over the years of Formula E. It's brought some good times, also brought some really bad times as well. So yeah, I got some other numbers that I prefer. 9 is one of them. I was actually tempted to change, I think, last season, but I opted to stay with 20. And I just thought, you know what, a little fresh start. And it's also clean with, I like single numbers, and obviously Sam is 10 as well, so that's sort of the reason why. And yeah, just a bit more attachment to 9 than 20 for me, so hopefully it brings some speed as well.
Are you a superstitious guy? Do you have like set pre-race rituals?
Obviously not. Yes and no, but I think it's just if you've got like an attachment, not I would say it brings any luck or anything. It's just more of you're more fond of other numbers than some others. So 9 is one of them.
Well, when we've so far had sort of practice qualifying run, practice race, how have you found that sort of maybe not an ideal start in the practice race, but was the pace thereafter pretty good?
Yeah, like deja vu. But yeah, I mean, completely unrelated to what happened in Berlin. It was just a systems thing that was sort of, let's say, not switched off for the simulation. So yeah, it was a bit hairy, but the rest of it was quite strong. Sam and I were coming through quite well. So look, it's still testing everyone on different programs. Obviously, we're trying out the new system with the extension of the race time. So, but yesterday the car felt really strong compared to how we were here in testing over the last few years plus the race. We always sort of struggled here a little bit, and yesterday we obviously topped the qualifying simulation, and this morning seemed quite good as well. So good start, but yeah, it's testing, right? So we always want to be fast, but we can't get too ahead of ourselves. So but yeah, no, it's been a good, say, day and a half so far.
Thanks, Mitch. Edo, over to you. Obviously it is testing, but when there's 4 cars all with the same engine right at the top of the practice race, that must fill you with a bit of confidence. It's still the same quick car it was last year.
I think it's way too early to draw any conclusions. We had actually a quite good simulation, race simulation actually this morning. We were actually quite surprised because we didn't really work on target laps yesterday. But everything felt quite good this morning, and obviously we're also quite competitive. That doesn't mean that we are going to be competitive in the first race weekends. Definitely, it's a nice feeling, and it's always good to start well. But there is still a lot to do, and we still have a lot to improve.
And we had the quali sim yesterday. And I think you were it was you and one of the very last cars to get out on track. How did you find that waiting around? What are you doing in that time?
I think that this morning and yesterday there was quite a lot of waiting, and when you get so little testing, sometimes it can be quite frustrating, to have to wait in the garage and not be able to run. I also understand that it's the first time that we were going through this new qualifying format. It was actually quite challenging to understand a little bit all the little tweaks and rules. But hopefully, this will provide also more show for the fans and for the people. And I'm excited actually to see how it's going to be this year with that.
Lovely, thank you. We're going to open it up to any questions from the floor.
This is a question for Antonio. So basically, when it comes to taking on this new Formula E challenge, what have you had to do with regards to your driving style and how you adapt to the car, and working with Sergio Sette camera as well? Has he been able to sort of give you a sort of step in the right direction when it comes to sort of putting that style together?
Like I said before, the car is really different from especially F1. So the car that I drove for the last 3 years, and so yesterday was really a lot of really confused and a lot of things to learn. But the main issue for me is the braking, because in F1 you can really attack so much on the braking because you have so much downforce as well, and here you cannot. So I'm struggling with this. But I remember also when I drove in 2018, the first car, the Gen 1, that was the same. So for sure, like Edo say, yesterday afternoon to lose also some laps was not ideal. The same this morning. More I'm in the car, and I will miss also the last day on Thursday because I need to go to Saudi. So it's not a great start like this, but it will be like this. And like I said before, I will focus more on the sim. Hopefully this can help me to adapt myself more on this car. But yeah, for sure the track is a track, and before race 1 I will not have much miles before that. So it's like this, but I'm sure during the season I can improve, and this is my target for sure. Like you say, I have a teammate that gets some experience, so it's great to see some data with a driver with an experience. Ask him some helps and everything. So yeah, for sure it's not much, like I say, much miles before the first race, but it will be like this.
Antonio, you'd have had other options in your career or the next stage in your career. What were they, and what actually attracted you to a team that struggled in the last few years in Formula E?
Yeah, for sure they had difficult season, but it's also true that in Formula E, you can see that in a race, is a different winner. So you never know what will happen. For sure, also the problem that I found out that I lost the seat in November was not ideal. But I like to have first of all to compete in this championship, to be motivated and everything, and also to work with a team like Dragon. They did some podiums. They did great in the 2 years ago. But yeah, I think Formula E is something different from Formula 1, that that you will go to the race and Mercedes and Red Bull, they will win the race. Yeah, you never know what will happen. So we'll see. We are working for this, and hopefully we can have a great season together.
I think that's it. Thanks very much, gents. Have a good afternoon.